Welcome to One-on-One. I'm Steve Adubato. It is our pleasure for the first time to introduce Mr. Carlos Medina, Chairman of the statewide Hispanic Chamber of Commerce in the great state of New Jersey. Good to see you, Carlos.
Pleasure to be here, Steve.
You're here to talk about the fact that the Affordable Care Act, otherwise known as Obamacare, there's been some challenges signing up those who are, in fact, Hispanic citizens, but also businesses, right?
Yes.
Because?
Part of it is a language barrier and a fear of knowledge of the program, kind of a big brother fear. What are they doing? What does it mean?
They being the feds?
Yeah, the feds, big government. So we have partnered with an organization called Small Business Majority. We've been doing webinars, we've been doing on-site workshops just to try to educate people.
In Spanish or English?
Both. We make sure we do them both in Spanish and English.
Okay, so let's talk about businesses that happen to be, because by the way, your organization, describe it before we talk about the businesses.
Sure, founded in 1989. We're the voice of the 70,000 Hispanic-owned businesses in New Jersey. They contribute $10 billion annually to the New Jersey economy.
Okay, so small businesses. Small business, they have all kinds of challenges just by the nature of being a small business. But the law says that if you have more than 50 employees, you must do what?
You must have some sort of health coverage for them.
Okay, so if a business does have 50 employees, that business happens to be, I don't even define a Hispanic-run business. I mean, like, at what point is it?
51% is of an individual of Hispanic origin running the business.
Do you believe there are certain unique challenges that those kinds of businesses face that others who may not fall into that category face?
Sure, there's the language barrier, and they're usually a first or second generation business, so they may not have the mentors that a mainstream business has. So that's one of the roles.
What do you mean by that?
Somebody that just could pick up the phone and call and say, how do I fill out this form? Tell me about what you did when you had an HR challenge. They don't have that same, Rolodex of mentors. So that's what the Chamber tries to be for them.
What do you do for them?
Really just help them through every step of the process, education, networking, access to decision makers. We want to be that mentor for them, personally, and with our we have 10 very prominent board members. They're all there, available to answer questions to our members.
What's your story?
My story?
Yeah.
Son of a Cuban father, Puerto Rican mother. They met 60 years ago in New York. Got married, been married 60 years. Have a small business engineering firm, and I do this because I love it as a volunteer. I'm not compensated in my role as chairman. Correct.
But how'd you get connected to the Chamber, though?
Daniel Hara recruited me about 8 years ago.
Excuse me? Who was that who recruited you?
Our founder, Daniel Hara, very prominent individual who deceased about 2 years ago.
Right.
So when he became ill and ultimately passed, it was almost like everybody stepped back, and I was the one remaining person willing to take on the challenge. I enjoy it. I'm passionate about it every day. Just so many good stories, positive stories. You hear a lot of the press, you hear a lot of the negative stories. I love hearing all the positive stories of the Hispanic businesses in the state.
What's the market like? What is the potential? What is the market? What is the potential market for Hispanic business in the state of New Jersey and in the region?
It's strong in New Jersey and the region. They're starting at a higher pace, probably 2-3 times the pace of general businesses are started by Hispanics, and even greater by Latinos. That's about 8 times.
Talk about that.
A lot of them come to this country, or they're overeducated and underemployed. So it's, do I work at a store for $10 an hour, or do I just put up my shingle and take a risk and do what I love? And those are the stories that really empower all the membership, is hearing those success stories.
Think about this. When you see women and men who happen to be Hispanic, Latino, Latina, who have accomplished great things, not just professionally in their field, but have become brands, who have become entrepreneurs. How inspiring are they and motivating are they to others who may not ever reach that level of a J-Lo, if you will?
Sure.
But, I mean, you don't always have to work for someone else.
Correct. It's very important, and we have an annual award luncheon, and that's where we feature 5 to 7 of those type of individuals. LaGoya is always a proud member, and we always highlight them. There's companies like Northeast Construction. They do $100 million a year in sales as a construction company. There are a lot of New Jersey-based success stories. So it's important to highlight them so an individual comes in and can look to them as a role model and prove that they could do the same.
going back to the ACA, the Affordable Care Act. And by the way, we're putting up the website, not just your website for the Chamber, but also the Affordable Care Act. Let's put up healthcare.gov. Healthcare.gov remains the official website, if you will. There are different enrollment periods, but you can always go to that website, folks, everyone watching on the public television audience and on file. So you can go to that website at any time to get information. Is it in Spanish? You go to the website, right? And you want to get engaged and language is an issue. What do?
My recommendation, and I know
Sure.
they are a sponsor, but is to go to Horizon's website.
Go to
'cause they
Horizon's
have a lot
website.
of information. It's bilingual, and then they could, from there, go to the portal. But it
Folks,
gives
do
a
we-
lot of good
Go to the
information.
Finally, advice to those who say, before I let you out of here, Carlos, it's just so overwhelming, and maybe I don't really have to do this, and I could avoid this whole healthcare thing, you say.
I tell them it's a good thing. It's going to make you more competitive in attracting good talent. So do it. And if you need to come to a workshop, pick up the phone, call us. We'll walk them through the process.
It's worth it.
It is.
Payoff is?
Better health, better health care for everybody, lower cost for everybody. So it's good for business and it's good for individuals. It's good for people.
Keep doing what you're doing. Carlos Medina is the chairman of the statewide Hispanic Chamber of Commerce in New Jersey. I want to thank you for joining us.
Great.
Don't let
Thank
it
you
be the
for
last
having me.
time. Appreciate it. Stay right there. One-on-one will continue right after this.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating over 25 years of broadcast excellence. Funding for this edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been provided by Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey, Activists, in cooperation with the American Medicine Chest Challenge, Virtua, New Jersey Manufacturers, Cone Resnick, New Jersey Natural Gas, and by the law firm of Gibbons PC. Promotional support provided by the Star Ledger, powering NJ.com, and by NJ Biz, all business, all New Jersey. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine,